everybody, I'm Doxy and you're watching Doxy Can Make. Welcome back, or welcome if it is your first time watching. And today's episode is about knitting podcast number 4, and it's an April roundup. So we're going to talk about everything that I have made in April, all the works in progress, the books I have read, and what kind of maybe yarns or other notions I have acquired. Ooh, April was quite of a full month, if I have to preface it a little bit. Half the month I traveled to my home country in Greece to visit my family for Easter, and it was a lovely time there. I really enjoyed it, but I brought over of course my knitting, and I also forgot knitting there, or some project that I have finished, and I actually have only one finished project that I can show here because everything else is just going to be in picture back in Greece. Yeah, and I was just looking on my bullet journal, my notebook, that I do these spreads. I think I showed them to you last time as well, that I do the April in yarn. So I'm noting down how much yarn I have bought, and how much yarn has been out of my stash, and the same when I started some projects and when I finished them, if I have finished them. And I was looking out, and I could see that I added to my stash around 1 kilo of 1,225 grams, but I have also taken out 375 grams. So I call it a win. So the balance in general is that for April I just added to my stash 650 grams, which is not super bad, but it would have been better, I have to say. Some of the yarn I acquired from projects, and some yarn I was gifted during PR events and such, but we're gonna see all of this in the acquisitions part. I just wanted to preface that it will be fun to see what's exactly the balance, and I'm gonna be adding this in all of my knitting podcasts. And currently we're in May, and that's how my spread is looking like. But let's talk what I actually made. Oh no, we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what I'm actually wearing. Underneath my overall, I'm wearing the Mílo tee by Park William, if I'm not mistaken. And it is not a striped sweater, but I did have these 2 yarns back in the very far 2021 that I started with project. I had these 2 yarns, so I thought it would be cool to stripe it, so that's what I did. And instead of striping the sleeves, because it has a short row sleeve cap here, I thought that I will do one color one sleeve and the other another. So there you go. I actually was wearing my Mílo cardigan, but it got too hot. Too hot, for me to film over here, so I switched into that one. Yeah, it's one of those projects that I really have been wearing it a lot all of those years that I finished it. And the fun fact for this project is that I actually started in 2021, as I said, and I finished it though in 2022. Okay, that was not so bad. Okay, yeah, I finished 2022. A year after. I thought I finished in 2023, but then I remember myself wearing it in 2023. So it wasn't that bad. A year after I finished it, and I have been wearing that. So without further ado, we're gonna go over to the finished objects, and my first finished object is my Lineout Pullover. Here is my Lineout Pullover in all its finished glory, and if you follow me on Instagram, where you can find me as That's Doxia, you have already seen it. I have worn it a lot, and I can already say, because I've been getting quite some questions, that yes, there is going to be a pattern for it, since a lot of people seem to like it. And this is the finished look of it. I'm very happy on how it turned out, and it has a split hem here, and the back, the ribbing at the back is longer than the front. And it is, as I said, it is a rugby inspired. I haven't said it, but in the past I used to call this my rugby inspired pullover, and I decided to name it Lineout, which is a play in rugby. And kindly a follower on Instagram, Maria, informed me that her rugby playing husband has seen the sweater and really likes it, and says that I have completely like nailed the look of the rugby. So I'm very happy that it has like a rugby player seal of approval for that. Everything started with colors, with my obsession with Bordeaux that will never go away apparently. And the only thing that I think I will do better next time, or during like the process of writing the pattern, is that I think I'm gonna be changing the plaques here. So because they're a little bit, even though I have like wet blocked it and everything, they're still like curling in. So I think I might change that to make it a little bit like more sturdy. But let's see. You can also say your opinions in the comments below. It has a European shoulder construction, and I decided to do a little bit more prominent here the stitches like before, like you increase to add a little bit, but it also has a little bit of underhold shaping, so it's not completely like just boxy, I would say. It is quite oversized. That's how like I have designed it to be quite oversized. But the sleeves, I don't think they're roomy, but they're not that you cannot do anything. I have been wearing it a lot, and I'm very, very, very happy on how it looks, and I'm really loving the colors. I'm thinking already what kind of other colors I could make my next sample maybe. And I have asked over on Instagram now, and people have come up with some great color combinations that truly inspiring. I was thinking about brown and pink, or burgundy, like Bordeaux and pink, but I couldn't find the correct brown that I wanted and the correct pink. Let's see, if you have any suggestions or any colors that you would imagine to line out, please feel free to let them in the comments below. But yeah, this is the line out, and I'm very, very happy with it, as I've said many, many times now. Drop shoulder. What else? What else can I say? It has quite of a long like body. I will try to put a picture, like I will have a picture maybe of how it fits. It has like a long body here, and so it is like quite oversized, and this is reaching around the end of at least my bum. I'm around 1.70 centimeters, so that's around 5'8", 5'9". I don't know, no. I'm not sure. I don't know, 1.70 centimeters, 1 meter 70 centimeters height. So yeah, this reaches around my butt, and it has been fun. Like I really like the construction of what I have made, and all the whole process. It was fun, and Stripes just invites you to go to the next one and to the next one and to the next one. So it finished quite fast, and even here that I did a 2x2 ribbing, I could say that also went quite fast. Yeah, it is knitted with knitting for olive in the colors Bordeaux and Poppy Blue, knitting for olive heavy merino, needles 4.5 millimeters, and then the white is knitting for olive heavy merino in cream. So that is the first finished object for the month of April. And then I have 3 more that, as I said in the beginning, I have forgotten them all in Greece. Well, actually 2 of them, they were supposed to stay in Greece, and 1 of them supposed to return back with me. Oh, sorry. But I've forgotten them in the rush of leaving my hometown. So I have finished 3 Sophie scarves, like 3 small scarves that I made with Fonty, the Fonty yarn in Ancora, called the Ancora. I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing this correctly. It's in French. I didn't study French. So sorry if I'm butchering the pronunciation. So I finished 3. I think I have pictures of 2 of them that I will try to put around me so you can see. I did one in light yellow that went, originally I have gotten that one for myself to pair it with my Lineout cardigan, but then my sister liked that color, so that one goes to her. And then I made one in pale pink, like in a very pastel, very nice pink, and one in red. The red one, my mom says that she wants it, and I ended up with a pink once again, but that is totally fine because I know that I'm gonna wear it. It was, the yarn itself is 25 grams, so I used almost all. I think the red one, no, I think the pink one might be the longest because that was the one that I was left with only 0.7, not even a gram of yarn. And I made first the yellow, then I made the pink, and then I made the red. So yellow was a little bit of an experiment, and I would like to apologize to the people on the flight on my way to Greece, and especially the people sitting next to me, because I was knitting that on the flight, and I was spreading all around the Angora yarn. You could see them like flying in the environment. So I'm very sorry, fellow passengers of mine, that I maybe gave you some yarn to go back home with. What I did is I took the instructions that PetiteKnit has on the pattern, that it says that basically you can weight the yarn that you have, and on the halfway, around on the halfway point, or like 1 or 2 grams after the halfway point of the yarn, you can just start decreasing, like you increase up until the half point or more, and then you start decreasing. So that's what I did. For the yellow, I realized, and that was the lessons that I took like for the next ones. For the yellow, I realized that I could have gone 2 grams further, because I was left with around 3 grams in the end. And then I was in the pink, used all of the yarn. It was like 1 gram of yarn left, less. It was 0.71 grams left. And the red, again, I think I was like, I thought I was afraid, and I was left maybe with 2.5 grams. But still, of course, you can, they're not like big, they're quite small, on the smaller like scale. I think you can, maybe if you put it like the other way around, you can tie it once, or in the front, but that's what all of us like wanted, my mom and my sister. So that was fine with all of us. And it's Angora, and it's very soft and very warm. I don't think they will be able to wear it now in Greece, because the temperatures are quite high already. But for me here in Finland, I might have used it like this past week, because the weather has been like a little bit temperamental in a way. Every day we wake up with sun, very nice sun that invites you, and you think that there's going to be like sunny all day, and then by noon, afternoon, it starts turning into more of an autumny weather, and has like the wind. Yeah, it's a little bit cold. We're more on the cold, like at around 10 degrees. So I could have used it. Alas, I have forgotten degrees. Ooh, maybe I should tell my mom to send it over. Anyways, so that would have been all 3 of my FOs. So it was all 4 actually. My Lineout pullover and the 3 Sophie scarves. I didn't do any modification whatsoever into the pattern, apart of the instructions that Petite herself has made that use it up until the half point. I do have to say though, and for that I'll need this part, this my notion bag, I did say that the one thing that made the process quite enjoyable, and I have to find it, yes, I found it, for me making a Sophie scarf. So if you're about to make one yourself, this is the thing that made the process way much more enjoyable for me. So this is a stitch counter. My own is from Knits.fi, Cindy Eggman, Knits by Cindy Eggman, and it was from her advent calendar for 2024, and you can find them widely like around. So how this works is that you put it like somewhere in your needle, and when you have it like here, that means that it's one row. When you put it there, you have done the second row and three, and that's how I was able to enjoy it, because I had that and I didn't have to think and count in garter stitch how many rows I have done and when I should do the increase or the decrease later on. And that would be my piece of advice. And you don't even have to buy like one of those. You can even make it like, if you have stitch markers, that they are like these, like the stitch bulb markers, you can put them together and then make like a line like out of those, and they will work the same way. So you don't even have to have that one in a sense. But I have also used this one in one of my current projects to track my progress on how many rows that I have done, and it also worked quite nice as a motivation. So since I talked about this, I guess we can go to WIPs, works in progress. For the WIPs in progress, I don't have a lot of new things. Maybe I have like one more new things, but I have been working on the same kind of stuff. I'm quite sad because I didn't get to finish my Daphnis cardigan, which is now out. Pattern is now out. This is the Daphnis cardigan by Maier, and maybe you can see a lot of it right now. But I have finished the body, and oh my god. Okay, yes, I have finished the body, and you can, the way that I say that you cannot see enough is because I'm currently in the process of picking up stitches for the I-cord edging that goes like around, that I will be doing next. But I 1000% like recommend, because the fit is very, very good and the construction is very engaging and quite fitting. I made size 4 to have a little bit of a more roomy, and the yarns were kindly sponsored by Isager for the test knit, and it's made in alpaca, alpaca 1? No, alpaca 2 in color 17, and 301 in color strawberry. So here are the yarns together, and highly also recommend to check out the pattern page either on Rivalry or like the hashtag on Instagram, because my fellow test knitters had like some very interesting yarn, like combinations of yarn. So yeah, and you can also see like the fit. I have tried it on and I super like it. I just have the sleeve left right now, which I think by next week it should be possible to finish it, and I'm really, really looking forward to it, because the weather that we have been having, it's actually perfect for this, because the one strand, as I said, it's alpaca 2, and the other is the 301, which is a blend of cotton, linen, and something else. Wait, do I have? Yes, I do. Ha! Yeah, so it's 50% linen, 30% cotton, and 20% Lyocell. So I would say it's perfect for this kind of weathers that we have. Don't look at the bag, because we're going to talk about it in the acquisition, but it has been living in this bag and it has been a lifesaver. I just got it before my trip to Greece to put this project basically in, because this yarn can like just, I had some troubles with it. It will, as I was knitting, it will just like unravel, because I didn't pick from the inside, I picked from the outside of the yarn to start. But using this bag has helped like a lot. And I do have to talk about my matching needle stoppers that I found in Laurel Knits. Another part of the acquisitions, I have to say. But yeah, this is my Daphnis cardigan, you can't exactly like see it very nicely now because of me picking up. But I can say that I made like either 28 centimeters or 29 after the underarm because I wanted it a little bit more down. I know that the pattern says 25 or desired length, so it's completely up to you. But yeah, I think it's quite reasonable to say that I will try to do it this weekend, and by next weekend hopefully I will have the sleeves done, and looking forward to wear it around and finally you get to see it either on Unreal or in my next knitting podcast. But yeah, it has been living in this bag and I think it has been perfect for me, because usually I would just throw my knits, which sounds very savage. I will throw my knits into my bag and then the yarn will be all messed up and then I will spend 5 to 10 minutes trying to untangle the yarn. So I decided before my trip, you know what, I need to buy. I need to get like another, because all of my project bags are actually occupied. And I really loved that one. It is from Lamp & Go here in Helsinki. And I will talk about more in the acquisitions. I mean, I have said everything about it already about it. But yeah, next one I would say it's something that you have seen, and I have just been adding some rows into it. It's my Pura Mua, and this is the wrong way around. This is where the progress comes. This Pura Mua skirt in the latest issue of Novita magazine, and it hasn't had like, I have added around 6 rows of it, but I still have like a long way to go, and I have lost all of my progress. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Oh my god, I need to, sorry, to fix my mistake. I usually grab into this project when I don't have anything, when I don't want to maybe think a lot, and I just want to do kind of mindless things and something. So I did it when I came back like from Greece, because I wanted something like that, and it was quite new as well, because it didn't get to travel with me in Greece. I was actually very logical with the projects I took with me. I only took my Daphnis cardigan, the yarn for the 3 Sophies, and then yarn for a secret project that I can only sew the yarn and nothing else, that I'm currently working on, and yarn for another project for a friend that in the end I didn't get to cast on because of other reasons. But yeah, this is the Pura Mua skirt. I'm knitting it in Drops Paris, in this lovely yellow that I really like as a color, but I'm not quite sure if it really fits me very close to my face. So I decided that in a skirt it will look amazing. Not a lot of progress, but I'm hoping that at least for the summer I will have it done at some point, or at some point when I will finish kind of my like test knits and begin like my other like projects, because behind the scenes a lot of things have been going on that I can't exactly like talk about right now. I have quite of secret like projects going on, one for me, one for a friend, and yeah, it's I've been doing a lot of knitting or a lot of writing, like pattern writing as well, so some of my time has gone there, and that's what I was saying like to my friend, my boyfriend. I just also like, I want this time, these days, that I will just knit, like I need this time, it's part of the work and I need to get it done. So I'm also trying to focus onto that. But that was the Pura Mua skirt from the Novita magazine. And last but not least, I mentioned that in the beginning I was wearing my Mílo cardigan. Well, I'm very happy to report that Mílo cardigan is currently in testing. It will be coming out, it will have a soft launch in Jyväskylä Knit Fest here in Finland, which is in the last week of June, so the 27th and 28th of June. and the official launch of the pattern is going to be on the 4th of July, if everything goes well. Hopefully everything goes well. Test knitters are currently working on their gauges, on getting their yarn, and working, or already started. And this is my, if you remember it maybe from my previous episodes, this is my gauge swatch from for my second sample that I'm making it in Ara, Mieli and Hieno, in colorways in Mieli Mílo, and in Hieno in color Valke. The yarn was kindly like sponsored for my second sample by Ilo Yarn, Ara Yarn, a lovely yarn shop and hand dyeing studio in Turku. And yeah, so that was like part of why the week, I said, like, has been a little bit crazy, because I have been finalizing the pattern, changing on things, calling for test knitters, organizing like everything like completely last minute. So, but yesterday I had the chance at least to sit down by myself. I was in a cafe, and then and just knit. And this is my bag, and this is the process that I basically have made all yesterday in the cafe. And after, when we went into a pub with my boyfriend to watch Finland play against Austria for the World Championship of ice hockey, and I'm almost finishing the bag. I think I will be doing soon increases. This is in the colorway Mílo, this is in Valke from Ara yarn, and yeah, I think it's going to be such a fun colorway. You can already maybe see it, like some of the mohair, like very nicely complementing the the fingering, and the colors that the test knitters are choosing. It's very, very interesting, like to see someone is doing white, someone is doing blue, another person is striping it. So like I'm really, really looking forward to see how it will turn out for everybody. I have to say that I'm also quite nervous about it. I'm constantly thinking that it will just fall apart without any reason at all. I have, like, the pattern before I sent it to test knitters, it went through tech editing, and because I didn't feel comfortable sending a pattern, my first ever garment pattern, to the test knitters before someone have checked like the maths and everything. And I think it was super good, because I also learned a lot of stuff through that process. And I'm just now keeping my fingers crossed that it will work for the other people as well. So every time that maybe a comment comes, I'm always like, wait, it will fall apart, it is not correct. All these very nice like thoughts that just like in my head. But it has been fun, like everybody's so excited, and new people has come in into the account and have like learned about it, because a lot of people have shared as well. So thank you everybody that have shared it, and for being there, for welcome if it is your first time watching or like following along. I really appreciate the support and the excitement for Mílo. So more news will be coming out like for that, and maybe I will say it once again that Mílo in Greek means apple, and that's why like the pattern was named like that, because my first sample was very much inspired by Brat Summer and by these goldsmith apples, like these very green apples. So we're discussing, and I was thinking that I will name it Apple, and then my friend Janno asked, what is apple in Greek? And I said, Mílo. And I said like, well, there you go. So Mílo Cardigan. And the second colorway that we chose, that we chose together with Jonna and Ara yarn, was the reddish part of the, like, you know, you have these apples that they're kind of like in between there. For some people it might remind peach, but I know that there is apple, just that they are also in this kind of like colorway. So kindly, when I find out, like kindly, they named this colorway that was firstly like made for my sample they kindly named it Mílo as well, so that's like apple, and you can find it in their web store right now. But yeah, this is a little bit of knitting design news, if I can even say that. And that's Mílo, and that is all the works in progress that I am actually allowed to share with all of you. Some of them I have been working into two more projects, but I don't have like any progress into that. So maybe in the next time. But the other project I can't share it at all. It's a secret test knit and I'm working on, and it is quite very special and I really like it. I can only sew the yarn for it later in the yarn acquisitions, and I think that's where we will go next. So we'll talk about yarn acquisitions. I'll just leave this here. Okay, I will start with the yarn from the secret test knit. So I got this yarn. It's like Bella from Drops in this pink colorway from Lampco, together with the bag that I sewed in. That my Daphnis cardigan is in, and it is actually a very nice yarn. It has been very, very popular, and I have seen it a lot I have seen it also touched in the shop, swatch that had silk kid mohair, because this is a 100% cotton yarn. No, it's 53% cotton, 33% viscose, and has 40% linen as well. And you can't even, I don't think you can see it, but it has like this change. I will try to put a picture of it to see like how the yarn, it's kind of like, it's inside, so you can see the cotton, you can see like the linen in between as well. And I have seen in the store a swatch with killed silk mohair, and it was super soft and very, very interesting. So that would be a very nice combination to make for a more summer, yet like chilly summer nights that we have mostly in the Nordic countries, maybe not in the south. But yeah, I have been using that for this secret test knit. It's actually my first time that I'm using Bella from Drops. And as for the bag, as I have said, it has been a life-saving for my Daphnis cardigan project. Again, actually, because it can fit the whole like project as it is right now. It has helped me a lot with the yarn not getting tangled up inside here. And it can fit like multiple like skeins as well, because at points I had 2 of those and 2 of the 301 as well, because I was afraid that might be like run out on everything. So yeah, that was another part. And the other part that I have acquired is this very nice needle stoppers that has also been quite life-saving for this project. I saw them in Laurel Knits when they had an open studio, and they completely like match my project, and I was like, I have to have them, they completely match up my project. And the other ones that I got were some rainbow ones. Ooh, let me... Okay, you're falling. So I also got those that I have on my secret test knit. And it's like cute rainbow ones there. So nice. This is a very chaotic yarn acquisition video, but I was kindly gifted these buttons from Laurel Knits, Laura. And she has been recently started making her own buttons with resin, and it has glitter. And when she showed me, like way before she launched them, like the examples that she had, I was like, oh my god, Laura, you know, like I want all of them. It's as cute as a button, glitter buttons. They are 1.5 centimeter ones, and they're 10 inside here, and they're absolutely lovely. I just need to like find a project that they will make them pop. Just really, really like the thing. So I got those needle stoppers from her, and these buttons. The buttons was kindly gifted to me for promotion, like yeah, on social media. I really like them, but I was gonna acquire them either ways myself. And some stitch markers, but they are so tiny that I might maybe just put a picture so you can see them. Oh, next on the yarn that I actually like acquired myself. Let's go with this. It is Layne in a very surprising color for me. Yeah, in this Bordeaux color that I have been dying like to find in from Sadness Garn, but now they have also done it in their summer yarn. And Layne is 53% cotton, 33% viscose and 14% linen. So very similar, or exactly the same as Bella, but just different way that I guess it has been spun. And the difference here is that 50 grams is 220 meters. I got those without thinking of what. I just wanted like 2 skeins. I got them before my trip to Greece. But now, until now I have an idea of what I want to do. I think I would like to do like a summer scarf that is not made out of wool, and it's more like of a, yeah, this cotton linen blend that you can still like wear it around. I'm obsessed with these triangular scarves, like smaller triangular scarves, and the way that you can put them. I think I have also talked in my latest video about it. So this is what will become. I will hold it together, so to go more of a sport DK weight, or like light DK, heavy sport light DK. Looking forward to this, but it will be a little bit later because other things needs priority. Then I saw that colorway in the launch, like the launch PR event of Sunday Knitting Club's own yarn, and then I was invited to another event that they had, and I decided that I couldn't like unsee the color combo, and I had to have it. This is Fonty in Maier, and there is a plan for them to be used, but yeah, but let's see what they will become. Something stripy maybe, like horizontal stripes. I don't know, I just knew that I just want them together. It is quite soft, but it is, I think it becomes, but it has like a little bit of a bite to it. I think it becomes way more soft after you have blocked it, after you have washed it with will wash. It's 75% more hair, 20% wool and 5% polyamide. So it's very interesting. It's very this chunky like yarn. It's 50 grams and it's 145 centimeters. I have seen it in samples in Sunday Knitting Club in the store, and they look quite good. Like it's quite an interesting yarn. So I'm really looking forward to use it. And speaking of Sunday Knitting Club, they have actually in the month of April, like in the end of March and month of April, they launched their own yarn, which is Sunday Knitting Club Silk Mohair and Sunday Knitting Club Unforgettable Alpaca. Those yarns has been given during the PR event that we were invited, and I can just say, I know that Paula Knits on Instagram has now a design coming up with this one. This is upperly soft. It is it's 50 grams, 100 meters, and it is 64% baby alpaca, 29% cashmere, and 7% silk. Absolutely like soft, and it is quite chunky because you saw like for 50 grams is 100 meters, and this is how like a one strand like looks like. I really love this how do you call it, like this brown color. Very soft, but also super soft is their it's their mohair. I've actually been thinking now in my mind, as I was thinking like, oh, what I will be doing like with 3 strands of mohair, I was thinking that I might pair them all together to do like to do a hat. not now though, later on into maybe in September when the weather, I don't think right now we need hats, either hat or a bonnet. So their mohair is 25 grams and 212 meters. It's 70% super kid mohair and 30% mulberry silk. And they have very interesting names. So this is called Lily Was Here, Careless Whisper. I think they have names of songs. And Lady in Red. This is a very nice, very vibrant red. I really love it. And this one is called, let me see, yes, it has Chocolate Mush, which I think it's very appropriate. So thank you so much to Sunday Knitting Club and congratulations once again for your yarn launching. I think the label is very, very interesting here. I just can't wait like to use like both of them, and especially those three. I think like a hat in those three will be so warm and so nice, so soft. And this one I might have to get like a little bit some more, maybe a scarf, like a rectangular scarf would be so cool, and they will look so nicely together. Again, this yarn was sponsored. I don't think I have anything else in the acquisitions part. This was all around what I have gotten, like needle stoppers. Needle stopper has been something that I have been using like a lot in the past months, and especially if the projects are like on thinner yarn or I have to do with lace, and you need to protect your work, because then if you maybe have a mistake or drop anything, maybe there's no going back, because in stockinette, even if you drop something, it's quite easy like to go back, but not as much like in lace. At least I'm not advanced to be able like to go back in lace. Yeah, so that was all. It's quite fast, like a lot of, April has been busy, but busy like in a way different like way, because of traveling, like schedules has been like mixed up and everything. Yeah, but last but not least, we're gonna be talking about books, and I'm gonna be needing again my very trusty bullet journal, because I don't remember all of the books that I have read in April. In April I read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I read 6 books, and 3 of them was ice hockey romances, and there is like, I read some very, very nice books in April. It was a little bit of a slower month for me, I have to say. I think it was because of traveling, because of knitting, because of being with other people. It was a bit of a slow month for books, but that's fine, that's totally fine, because I found from the library, I will talk about first about my my 5-star read for April. I found from the electronic library that we have the system, like in Finland is changed. We used to have Libby, we used to be part of Libby in Helmet, and where all the libraries of the Helsinki metropolitan area belong. We used to be part of that, but in Libby, but then they decided to do their own app. So now we have this app that's called e-kirjasto, e-library, and they had the pairing. I was just browsing through before my trip to Greece and just looking up on maybe some audiobooks or e-books like to have as well. And I stumbled upon the pairing, which I have already seen on the bookstore. And I remember reading it and I was like, oh, okay. But then I was like, you know what, I have read the other 2 books by Casey McQuiston, and I quite like them, so I will give it a try. You have to read it. That's the only thing that I have to say. This book was a vacation on its own. So it was a trip of the senses and of places and of foods and of everything. It was an emotional trip. It was a maturity trip for the main characters, and it has like absolutely like lovely like way of writing, and just like so nice.
So the book is The Pairing by McQuiston, and it is the Theos and Kit's story. It's their story. They have been friends that evolved to being into a relationship, but they have drifted apart for a reason. They have broken up just before they went on this trip that they are currently on. On this trip, that is more of a food trip, or it's not even a food, because they also do like all this, all the cultural stuff. So maybe it's a cultural trip, maybe I could say. So they go through. They start from London to the Dove. Through the Dove, they go to France, Paris, Bordeaux, then to San Sebastian, then to Barcelona, if I'm not mistaken, and then to Nice, Monaco, and make their way all down, like all down to Italy and Sicily, and they enjoy both like the food and the culture that they have, the drinks as well. Like, it's called The Pairing because each of the locations that they got, it has like what exactly is being paired like with. Both Theo and Kit kind of work in the hospitality industry, or have worked. Theo is making their way on becoming sommelier, and Kit, even though has studied arts in college, has like this has this inclination towards baking. So that's their like common ground, and way other things of how they are like. That's what they have in common, and other things that they have bring them like together in their life. The story, it is a LGBTQ plus friendly story. The main characters are both bisexual, and by the end of the story, I'm not going to say who its character reveals that they don't exactly identify with any kind of gender, and they prefer the pronouns they, them. I strongly recommend to read first of all the book. Please read it, and when you read it, have like a notebook, put down all the food, all the places, all the drinks that they are being mentioned, and please also go to the profile of the author, and there you can find pictures from the places and the foods. It has extensive research being done, and with eyes on the ground as well, and from the author themselves. So please, just please read it. I think you will really enjoy it because, as I said in the beginning, apart from a cultural trip, is also a trip of maturity. I remember reading, the last pages on my before I went to sleep, and then it completely destroyed me because then I was like crying and everything, but then it redeemed itself. It was great, but then I couldn't sleep, of course. So please don't do like me and read way well into the night, because you might lose your sleep. Next one, I'm gonna be going to another favorite of mine, which coincidentally is named The Favorites by Layne Fargo. This was a library loan, and I have to say, like, library always like surprises me with the editions that we get, because this edition also had this purple pages. At the beginning I thought that it was like a little bit tacky, but then as I was reading, it was a very nice thing to have. This I have found through, I'm not sure if Alison of Books and Buyo recommended it, or I saw it somewhere on Reels or Book Talk or whatsoever, but I can say like that it disappointed. It is about ice dancing and figure skating, and people tries as like sensational rumors have haunted cat and Heath's every step for years, but the truth may be even more outrageous than the headlines. Oi, 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 it says like to the world they were a scandal, to each other an obsession, and it's also very nicely, it's very well written. It's in the narrative of both like the main character like chronologically, but also in the part that there is a documentary taking place. So they have like the transcript of the narrator and the people that they took interviews from, like from the parts as it goes. So they are like in parts. They have like the hopefuls, the champions, something else. I don't remember all of it. Layne Fargo, I'm not sure if I pronounce this correctly, was the first book that I have been reading from her, and I quite liked it. Like I was so immersed. I was not supposed to be reading this book because it was way later in the many books that I have from the library at my home, but I was so anticipating this read that I just started it and I think I finished it in 2 days, and don't regret it at all. It was a lovely read. It's around 440 pages something. So it has this, that it shows what other people were saying about them, what really went on, like from them, from their story, and as objective as they can be with with something that you're living yourself. So another very good read. And the last one was not last one, but my third like favorite. I had like 1 5-star read and 2 4.5s. And that was The Summer in the City by Aster, and it's a story of Parker and Elle, and how they're like interacting, and yeah, like how their meet some years before shaped her, and how she was like trying to hate like New York City and him, from this very brief encounter that they had to their encounter now 4 or 3 years later, something like that. And it's the same. I think the why I liked it, it was because of the story of being like independent. So it made me like think of the main character. I think both me and my friend Becka that recommended me the book, we resonated with the main character of like being a strong, independent woman that we would like to think that we are, and how sometimes this independency can also translate and be hurtful to others, if you're very adamant like on it. It's one of those, I would say, like somewhere in this, like I would say that this is a summary, but not in a bad way, because it is like, it's just like it travels you. Like I would imagine myself like reading this. I would have loved to read that, like if I was like in Greece on the beach or anywhere else, or enjoying just in a park like in June. But I'm very glad that I read it also in April. It's not a very big book, and I think that's why I took out the half. Like I wanted more of it. And if I'm not mistaken, that was the first romance novel by Aster. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that was like her debut in that genre. Oof. Yes. Okay. 3. My last books, which I didn't tell them like in the chronological order that I read them, but the last 3 books that I have are ice hockey romances, with one of them, Fall With Me by Becka Mack. It might be one of my favorite ice hockey like romance fiction books, and I'm so much waiting for the 5th installment of the whole series, Breathe With Me. That was Fall With Me by Mack, and it's for the series Playing for Keeps, number 4. If you haven't, please, if you haven't and you like ice hockey romance as a genre, you have to read. You have to read this series, and you like this, like going through most of that there is like found family kind of a thing. Yeah, so this book was no exception, because you get to see like all the other characters from the book. Of course, I have my favorites. I was glad like to see them more. Like, who can say no to seeing Carter, and who can say no to seeing Kara? So yeah, and it's just lovely. It's the story of Jackson. Like from Becka Mack's like stories is the way that it is written. It's kind of like it has like a natural progression, and it both has like the emotional connection part, but it also has the fun. So it has like kind of the both worlds. Then I finally finished like the Behind the Net by Stephanie Archer. I say finally finished because that was the first Vancouver Storm book, and I have read the second and the third. And for the third, I was even an advanced copy reader. My first advanced copy reader. Thank you, Stephanie, and her virtual assistant for picking me. So finally I get to find out the story of Jamie and Pippa, of that, because I picked up Fallout. What was the second that I don't remember? I'll try to put it like up. Because of this, I picked up the second book from the bookstore, and I read it, and then I realized that there was another book, like a first. So finally I get to see the story of Jamie and Pippa, and it was as lovely, even though Jamie was a little bit of a hard-headed person and very set into his ways, and no trying to do any kind of trying to make things like a little bit more easier for people. A story of not trying to compromise yourself for things that you really don't want to. Last but not least, it was my Mr. Heartbreaker by Rayne, and it's the first book of the Nest series. I enjoyed it, but so and so, if I'm not mistaken, it was like best friend or former best friend, sister, well, that he's not a current teammate, but then he is, and then they start falling back like onto their own ways, and yeah, I think it was fine, but I don't think it's one of those books that I super enjoyed. I think that's why then I venture into my other, like through the Behind the Net and the Fall With Me books, because that was a series that I knew that I liked. That was everything from books of April. I'm currently reading Business Casual by Becky Borishan, and I really loved it. Yesterday in the night I finished Next to Kin by Hannah Bonham Young, which I absolutely love. I think she became one of my favorite authors. She writes these very nice, inclusive stories with the most of sensitivity into them. So if you haven't checked her out, please do. She became, and if by any chance, Hannah, you're watching this video, hi, I love your books. But yeah, I think that was all for April. That was all for April. A lot of things going on. One of the things that I want to do is that I really need to go like into this mode that I just knit and work. The future holds a lot of pattern writing, like for me, which I would have never imagined. and one of them being the Lineout Pullover. So if you really liked it, please make sure that you either follow on this space or on Instagram to get notified when I'm looking for test knitter. I'm actually thinking if I will be starting a newsletter or like a list of for test knitters to have like on hand. So yeah, you can always find me on Instagram, Rivalry, and what else? And Storycraft as That's as Evdoxia, and here on YouTube as Doxy Can Make. That was all for April, and that was all for now. A lot of things going on. Please stay in touch. Let me know what you're like most excited about, like in the upcoming months, or what was one of the knits that you like the most or excited. And I will see you to the next one. Bye!